Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your monthly zodiac readings. This reading is for the sun, moon, and rising sign of Sagittarius for the month of June. How can we help ourselves? What do we need help with in the area of our lives as we move forward? The first card that has come out is peace. Extending an olive branch. As we move forward during the month of June, we may have people that we may have to say you're sorry to, or try to make amends somehow, because we have been going through a very deep emotional time in our lives where we are searching within and trying to figure out what we are lacking, what are our strengths and what are not our strengths. How can we have better relations with others, with ourselves included, whether we're talking about work, romantic, familiar. All of the relationships in our lives have really been changing because we are coming to terms with who we are, the things that we have done, how we have moved forward in life, and perhaps at some point or other we have realized that we have perhaps hurt people in our wake, in our strive to better our lives or move forward. There have been some people that perhaps we have hurt, whether it be a relationship, romantic, or with family members or people that you really love. Perhaps a best friend could have gotten hurt in the way that you move forward. Sagittarius, you're very impulsive. You're extremely impulsive, sometimes to a fault. At times, some of our own talents are good for us, but in excess or without thinking or looking at details or analyzing your movements forward before you do them, or having that foresight, is kind of hard when you decide you're going to change from one thing to another. You do it very impulsively, and at times we hurt others. That creates a lot of unfinished business. So we have a lot of karmic energy or situations that we have not seen through, okay, which in turn has caused a lot of upheaval in our own lives. Unrest is also a good word for our psyche. We feel unbalanced in a sense because we truly are. We haven't come to terms with a lot of the things that have ended in our lives and how we did it. We feel a lot of guilt as a result of our impulsivity, and sometimes that is very damning or stopping to our forward movement, because then we feel that every time we make a decision or we become impulsive again, because it is part of our nature and there's nothing we can, sometimes we can't control it. We can at times perhaps not be quite as impulsive, but we need to have some sort of impulsivity, because otherwise our lives just kind of die off and we're just not ourselves anymore, and then we're lost because we don't know how to move forward without that fire, without that inspiration, without that impulsivity that makes us what we are, Sagittarius. And it's really difficult to make decisions or to move forward in our lives when we see that we have either made a decision that wasn't quite right because we didn't see it all the way through before we made that decision, or we feel we're stuck because we have second guessed ourselves, or through guilt we can't seem to move forward. So there's some unfinished business that we need to take care of. So if you could think of either family members or past lovers or situations in your life where you feel that you have not closed out that relationship or that issue in your life, you need to look back. You need to be able to go through all the steps of closing out situations, signing contracts, paying bills, just closing out things that you may have pending, and just practice doing that, starting with some of the most painful situations in your life. For past relationships, either write a letter to yourself, burn it, decide that you're going to close that out, that you made the best decision at that point. You had perhaps two evils to choose from and you chose the lesser of the two. and you moved forward and it was the best decision for you to have done at that time. You know, tell yourself these things, write them down, look into it, spend some time alone in a retreat. Go off by yourself, get away from everyone else, and try to go through these issues in your mind, because I know that ultimately, Sagittarius, you want to be happy. Whether you're in a relationship now that's struggling, or you just got out of a relationship that was struggling, you're trying to make amends, or you're trying to figure out what went wrong, I know that you ultimately want to be happy, and ultimately Sagittarius has to have people around them. We're very gregarious. We like to share our things with others. We have to have people around us to support us, and for us to be able to express who we are and share the things that we have with them. We don't really like to keep things to ourselves because we're not that type of a person. We're very loving and giving, and we kind of become obsessed or obsessive in the way that we share. So we also need to kind of damper that a little bit, or get some type of a balance with the way that we give of ourselves, because we're very giving, we're very fiery in nature and very impulsive and just loving, and we need to have people around us. So when we're alone, it shouldn't last very long, because it's not good for our health. Okay, so we need to somehow try to put an ending or closing to some of the unfinished business in our lives, or some of the decisions that we know we need to take and we haven't, because we're afraid of either hurting others or hurting ourselves because of looking into the past, or looking into the choices that we've made in the past, and just being afraid to make a decision that's not right as we move forward. But ultimately, we're trying to find that peace within ourselves, that balance, so that we can help other people as much as we can through peace. Because if we don't have that peace within us, it's very hard for us to help other people or be how we truly are in nature. Okay, we need to be able to share our lives, help others that are around us, and constantly be leading, because we are leaders, you know, so we have to constantly feel like we are being helpful in our lives, so that we can continue to move forward. We need to completely surrender to healing the past, healing our thoughts, healing our thought processes, healing the way that we interact with others. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. So we already know pretty much what we need to do in order to heal the past, heal our physical bodies, or certain areas of ourselves that we need to change, that we need to fix, that we need to heal. Closing out on some of that unfinished business is going to be extremely important to our aura, to ourselves, to our self-love. It'll also help our physical bodies in a sense, because if you hurt yourself enough with your negative thoughts, patterns that we do, you're going to hurt your aura, you're going to hurt your physical body. Disease comes in because you allow it in, because you feel culpable, you feel guilt over some of the things that are unfinished, or that were left in a way that was not a positive end, whether it was you're doing, another person's doing, or the way it just had to happen. It was very painful. So we need to be able to fix some of those unfinished situations in our lives to help our physical body, spiritual, and mental. That's very, very important. We also need to surrender to creativity. Sagittarius, most Sagittarians have talents. They're either musicians, they're psychic readers, they're healers, they're painters, they're writers, poets. Sagittarius has a lot of talents, sometimes untouched. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Since we have talents that we sometimes don't tap into, some of these talents may be able to help us in closing out some of this unfinished business and healing ourselves. Also with the aid of doctors, or with the aid of medicines, whatever it is that we need to do to help ourselves move forward, this is a good time to do it. especially in June. We're being asked to do this so that the rest of our year is a little peaceful. We're able to achieve that peace that we're looking for, that healing, that creativity that surges from within us. Some of us may even meet someone that's creative so that it helps us pull out some of that creativity that we have buried because we've become too busy in our lives working and toiling and not paying attention to the healing that needs to occur, the problems that we need to solve, that we need to put an end to, the choices that we need to make that sometimes are like very, very difficult in order to be able to focus enough to do them. We need to become more stronger in our convictions and the control of our outbursts. Sometimes we have a hair trigger personality. We're so fiery, so impressionable that anything could set us off. Because remember, we're part animal and part human, part person, and the other part of us is like an animal. So this card represents the sign of Leo, which is a lion, but it also is very representative of ourselves, of our human part trying to take control of our animal instincts, which are, they can go off like this in a flash. We don't think, we react. And that's something that we really, really need to tame. We can't stop it because it's part of our personality. And if we stop it, we're killing at least 50% of our who we are, our being, the face we show the world, or who we truly are inside, instinctually. I'm sorry if I make up words. I hope you understand why I'm saying them, or put a meaning to the word that I make up or that I stick in there or wherever, because it's the way that I am. I even create words sometimes to express how I'm feeling, which sometimes is really hard. But either way, it's a control that we need to have over our basic instincts in order to be able to channel them in a creative fashion, in a fashion where others can see that it's a good thing, and not something detrimental to either yourself or to the other people. Channeling, being strong enough to control that instinct that we have, and being able to talk, express ourselves without it being like in a forceful way, or in a way where it's blunt, like Sagittarius likes to talk. Kind of tone that down a bit and show more expressions of love, as opposed to fire and brimstone, which we're like very powerful sometimes, and we need to keep that under control. This is also expressed as the lust card in some decks, where it's the lust of life, the lust of flavor, the lust of sex, the lust of creativity. We're just extremely lustful people, and we need to learn to keep it under wraps, control it, tame that lion within us, as opposed to letting it roar, but yet still continue to be strong enough to keep moving forward, to allow some of our personality to come out, but in a controlled sense. We do have our guides around us that are constantly wanting us to move our lives forward. So we're having some type of assistance at this time to move our lives forward in a very passionate way. But some of these changes are going to happen very, very quickly. If there's something that you're trying to manifest, or that you are hoping to manifest in your life, it is coming. But it's going to, perhaps for some of us, happen very, very quickly. And it's going to be hard to be able to control our lust at that time, whether it's sexual, whether it's creative, whether it's impulsive, that we need to slow it down. So whatever this is that's coming in for some of us, it's going to, perhaps for some, be messages that come in very, very quickly. For others, it could be people, or it could be inspirations that you have, more than one at the same time almost. You need to write them down, and you need to slowly take advantage of those ideas, of those inspired thoughts, or just something that perhaps you hadn't even thought of, and all of a sudden it comes to you during the month of June, and you think, wow. And then all these other avenues open up because of that thought that you had. So you need to learn to slow down and not take anything like very, very quickly, because there could be other options that you didn't explore yet that may be even better, that come from this impulsive idea or creative thought that you have. Try to slow it down, because there's going to be people that you meet or situations that happen and are going to happen very, very quickly for you in the month of June. You can bring some of this about. If you're hoping for a romantic relationship, you need to fall in love with life again. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So for some of you, you are in a relationship. If it's a little dull, you need to bring a little bit more spark into it, a little more passion, more lust for your partner, for your life together. Bring more passion into it, whether it's through creative expression, dressing, dancing, speaking, a love letter that you write, something that you do in order to inspire more love into your relationship at that moment. Flowers, roses, colors, certain colors can aid you with this new attraction for life. Falling in love with life again, different sense, like waking up your senses is going to be something that's important. If you could work on that, something visual, something you can taste, something you can smell, something you can touch, and somehow involve your partner in that, was going to be a little bit more helpful than if you don't. Wear certain colors that are attractive to your partner, and just fall in love with life and stay in the moment, enjoying the moment fully that you spend with them, is going to be very helpful for you. Also, heart-to-heart conversations with your partner. If you guys have been having problems, or maybe communication has not been very expressive lately, it's time to honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Let them know how you feel about certain things. Sometimes we feel that if we express ourselves with our partners, it's going to hurt them, or it's not going to end well. And what we do is we start closing the doors to communication. And before you know it, you have absolutely no communication with your partner, when at one point there was nothing but a lot of love or caring or desire to be together. Sometimes that is also sexual energy. It's a physical attraction, which has nothing to do with a soul-to-soul attraction. At times you need to know that the partner that you're with has to have more than just a sexual attraction with you. There has to be other things that you two can share that are common for you, either children or talents, or things that both of you like, so that you can spend time together talking about these things, or going to certain places, or doing activities that are like-minded. Otherwise, once the initial flare of the sexual attraction is overcome, or you've been together for a while, so it becomes tedious or the same thing over and over again, there's nothing to pull you together. So you have to have commonalities. You need to start talking or open up channels of communication with your partner, because if that dies, then you pretty much need to hang it up. For some of you, there's a religious factor that's an issue for your relationship. If you are single, this is something that you're hoping to find in a partner, someone that has at least more or less the same interests that you have when it comes to spirituality, or when it comes to religion. For some of you, you are with people that have a very opposing religious belief, so you need to somehow try to come together. Between you both, there has to be a commonality of those religious beliefs. There has to be a way for you to be able to at least accept the other person's religious beliefs, and if they have to do certain things at certain times, then you need to allow them, because they would do that for you. There has to be a certain type of respect. For others, your religious beliefs are really an opposing problem for you, so it pushes you apart. So you have to come together with this person and speak to them, have, again, heart-to-heart conversations about your beliefs and theirs, and how you can come together with them. But for the most part, if you are single and you are hoping to attract a new partner into your life, you really have to close out the old situations in your life, or old relationships that perhaps it didn't end well. You need to remember how they started, because sometimes when things don't begin well, they're definitely not going to end well. So in the end game, it's a lesson that you were learning, Sagittarius. So for some of you, that could be an issue. You need to get over it. For others, it's just unfinished business and you're still single because you really haven't come to terms with the ways that your relationships ended, or how committed you are exactly to love. Are you committed to love? How deep do you let it go? Do you put up walls for others? Are you protecting yourself? Are you protecting your heart? Because we're always going to be hurt by the people that we love. It's lessons that we need to learn, and it may not be going out with other people or cheating per se, but just other things that'll happen, just little things that they will tend to hurt you. So you cannot protect yourself 100% from another partner. There's always going to be disagreements no matter what. There's going to be bad days or good days for everyone. So you can't, it can never be that 100% fairy tale love affair that we would like, Sagittarius. We just can't. We can't do it. And with our impulsivity, it's almost impossible to do it sometimes. It isn't, though. It isn't. It's almost keywords. It can be up there, but just being with a Sagittarian, the other partner usually has to know that it's very hard to keep a fire sign under complete control. It just doesn't happen. Our very nature is to change things. Nothing stays the same. So we're always mutable. We're always changing. We're always doing things that are different. So we cannot completely close that down. But if you are single, you need to realize the things that you need to learn from, the things that you don't want to bring forward as you go into a new relationship or as you attract a new relationship into your life. And you need to stay focused on today, on attracting yourself to all the beautiful things that are in your life each and every day, and noticing them and flavoring them and tasting them and smelling them and making yourself a part of what's happening each and every day, and falling in love with life again. Having heart-to-heart conversations with the people around you, the people that you may have hurt, the people that you have unfinished business with. Write them a letter. Make a phone call. Leave it on a message if you have to. Write it to yourself and just put it away, or mail it to nowhere. But at least come to terms with some of the things that you need to put closure to in your life. And your religious factors, your beliefs, your spirituality could be taking you away from other people that would probably make a very good match with you, but they're in a different belief, or they believe differently. So don't try to put parameters up when it comes to religious beliefs, because Sagittarius people believe in a lot of things, and they come full circle. They may start with one cult or one belief or one religion and end up in totally something different. So they go through a lot of cycles as they grow. So try not to put any parameters on the person that's coming into your life, because they could be completely different from a different culture that you know absolutely nothing about. But the initial belief, or just the substance of that belief, is the same as yours. The core of it may be the same thing. You just need to wait. You need to communicate with that person. You need to get to know what their beliefs are all about, or how they feel about certain things, how they feel about your beliefs, and see where they're at. They could be totally open to learning something new, or to changing something about their beliefs, and vice versa. You need to stay open, Sagittarius. You need to decide to be happy now, Sagittarius. Archangel Michael, I asked for advice for us. Thank you for helping me open my heart to happiness, joy, and bliss. I am now willing to see all of the goodness in my life. You need to realize how blessed you are, Sagittarius. I know that we have a lot of issues, and we've learned lots and lots of lessons in the last several years with the help of Saturn, with the help of other planets, with the changes that we alone have brought onto our lives. They just needed to change. We needed to have some type of like a tower moment, like a burning of all of what we were, or all of the layers of the things that have happened to us in our lives. With a lot of it has been put there by others' words, actions, the ways that you were treated, Sagittarius, and you became something that you were not. So there has to be certain shedding or burning off of those layers of what you have become to what you can be. in the future, by closing out the lessons, by closing out the things that you no longer want to be a part of, the person that you have become due to all your past actions and all the actions of others, shedding that away and becoming the beautiful person that you are now, what you have learned, who you are as you move forward in your life, and what you will no longer accept in your life from other people or from yourself even. Trying to take control of your mind so that you are happy, choosing, deciding to be happy, knowing that your back is covered. You are guarded, you are protected by divinity, by the angels that you are always talking to, that you are asking for assistance from. You have a lot of power in your hands at this time to move forward. There is a guiding light. You are being guided. Right now you are where you're supposed to be due to the lessons and the path that you have been on. But as you move forward, you can take a totally different path. And you have been thinking about it, Sagittarius. It has been on your mind. Know that you are being guarded and protected as you make these changes in your life. There's nothing wrong with the way that you are thinking or the way that you are trying to move forward now, because you are doing it with a lot of others in mind, not thinking only of yourself or how you're going to gratify yourself when you move forward or as you make these changes. You are thinking about others around you as well, how it will affect them, how you can do it in a different way so that you're not affecting those around you in a negative way. You are coming from a place of light and you're moving to a place of even greater light. So Sagittarius, just know that continuing to move forward is not something that is bad for you at this time. You're being asked to move forward. You're being asked to look at the things that you have created in your life up to now, learn from them, close out the cycles that are still open, and keep moving forward. You're going to be able to celebrating with friends, emotional contentment as you look at what you have done and what you're changing in your life. And as you move forward, you see that you are gaining the pearls of knowledge, of love, of more stability in your life, Sagittarius, of not leaving so many things behind that you love and that you cherished at one point, and then you just pick up and you leave because it's in your nature to move forward quickly. You need to slow down. There's going to be some creative messages from others, creative thoughts that you get. All I know, Sagittarius, is that you're starting to blend a little bit more water into your life and not so much fire that consumes you. Having a bit more control over that fiery nature of yours and mixing a little bit more water. More emotions, more fun, more calm, allowing that water to slow you down, to not be able to burn your paths so quickly, Sagittarius. Allowing that water to put a little bit of slow motion into your motion, so it's not so fiery. And in the midst of it, you'll be able to create. So there's some creative energy that's coming, because there's a lot of cards here that represent creativity. Here's one which will bring transformative energy into your lives. It's the cycle. It's a cycle that's ending and one that is beginning, that is going to be pretty creative in your life, Sagittarius. So don't look away. If you have started a business and things have really not been rolling too much lately, don't worry about it. It's about to change. You're about to fall in love with life again. You're going to have outpourings of emotions as well. So a lot of emotional cards here also, and creative. So creativity, emotions that are going to overflow. It could be a new person that comes into your life that's very creative or artistic, and you kind of fall in love and just fall head over heels. So remember, you're trying to control yourself and bring peace into your life. But I think as we move into the second part of 2019, we're going to find some peace, because we're going to be able to close out some of the cycles that have held us back, cycles from the past that have been open, wounds that we needed to heal, and becoming our own, walking into our own power of leadership, of complete intuitive guidance, but controlled, blending our emotions with our fire as we move forward. Thinking about traveling, movement forward, changing a place of employment or a place of living, traveling to other places and getting to know other culture, other cultures, other people, other beliefs, under the sun. Just doing things that are fun during the summer months that are going to make the rest of the year a bit easier, guys, as we move forward. A bit more loving, a bit more emotional, a bit more watery, so that it's more, flows easier. It's easier to manifest, easier to navigate through water than it is through fire. Fire is just too quick and it burns everything up without, you know, without letting you breathe, without leaving a trace. Okay, at least water just moves a little slower, so you're going to be able to blend your fire with some water as you move forward in the month of June. You will be guarded, you will be happier by the time June ends. Your psychic abilities are going to become even stronger as you move through the month of June. Secrets that have been veiled or that have not been revealed to you yet are going to start coming out. So you're going to learn even more about yourself, more about your higher self, more control over your physical body, your mental body, as you move forward through the month of June. And again, a lot more control of your psychic abilities that are going to open up. So it's time to meditate more, learn more about the occult arts so that you can be able to manage yourself a bit better as you move forward during this month, Sagittarius. Let's see what Whispers of Love has to offer. Well, these cards are all about love. You watch me shuffle. It's time for you to take a chance on love, Sagittarius. If you are in a relationship that is not making you happy, Sagittarius, it's time to close the door. It's time to listen to your intuition. June is going to be a very intuitive month. So listen to your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams. Your psychic abilities are going to become stronger so that you can be more firmer in your convictions about yourself, closing out cycles that need to end, and taking a chance on love. If you have to travel, if you have to move, whatever it is, Sagittarius, you need to do, you need to take a chance on love. You need to move forward, closing a door so that another one can open, so that you can move forward into a better time of your life. Either a new relationship that's coming in, because here on the table is new love for some of you, a wish that comes true, something that you have asked for, something that you have desired is coming into your life. They're quickly moving towards you, or you are moving towards them. Or learning how to say I love you again in an existing relationship that becomes more solidified, a bit more stronger because of the communication that you're going to open up with your partner during the month of June, because of new things that are going to happen. Falling in love with life again, being more creative, being more yourself, Sagittarius, being more the person that your partner has fallen in love with, and including them more into your plans and into your inspirations. Showing them more of who you are and expressing your love a little bit deeper is going to help you. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. Take a chance on love. Drop the walls that you have. If you are in a relationship already and are having issues, you need to forget about what's happening. Try to talk to your partner and start over. If you are single and hoping to fall in love again, drop the walls around you and be prepared to allow people to come towards you, even if it hurts. But you need to express who you are, express your values, express your boundaries, express what you will allow in your life and what you won't, so that they get to know who you are, and eventually the right person comes into your life because they're already heading your way. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth as well. So whatever this new opportunity is, it does lead to love, a more greater love within yourself, a love of who you are, what you have accomplished, of what's coming, new spiritual growth that is necessary for all of us, and a wish that comes true, which could be a romantic partner, even still for others, okay? These are very important words to say. I love you. If you are in a relationship with someone, it's time to express your love for them, telling them how much you love them, what you feel for them. If it's somebody that comes back from the past, if it's someone that you still love from the past, it's time to express your love to them. And if they come back with, listen, I'm with someone else, or I have gotten over you, then it's time to close that door. Then you know that that's it, Sagittarius. You can't go back to that ever again, and then start opening yourself back up to others. It could be many years that you have been single because you haven't closed the door on the past, because you think that the past could still open up for you at some point. Well, you need to hunt it down. Look for it. Write a letter. Talk to the person. Give them a call. And if you can't find them and there's somebody that's really, really in your past, and it's time to let go. It's time to move forward. Close that door, Sagittarius, and allow the new in, because it's coming. It's on its way. Take a chance when the new person comes into your life. Don't neglect them, or don't push them aside and say, no, I'm not going to do this. If you are single, allow this. If you're with another person and someone new comes into your life, then you need to make a choice. Then you need to choose what direction you want to go in. Because remember, if you start something and you're not done with the last relationship, it's going to end badly. So don't go there either, Sagittarius, because eventually you'll learn why you shouldn't. And it's a lesson that you shouldn't have to learn more than once in life. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed your reading. This is all I have for you today. I will read for you again hopefully tomorrow. This is going to be a long weekend for me, so I'm probably going to be reading more often than not during the weekend. And I'm happy to be able to do so. It's something that I want to do. I'm not going to go away for this holiday because I do not feel like traveling. Therefore, I will have plenty of time to do my readings, even though I always read when I traveled anyway. So either way, if I travel or not, I'm still going to read for you guys. I do love you. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you guys would like a private reading with me to work on your own issues, on your own questions, just write to me at my address, which is down below, Raisa's healingarts11@gmail.com. You can also check my blog, which is raisastarot.blogspot.com. And, well, we'll get together for a reading, whether you want one live on Skype or you want me to record it and send it to you. Bye for now.